Hi folks out there, this is Markus from Helloween and you're watching Linnea Rock with Barbara. Hello.
Thanks, Markus, and welcome back to Italy.
Fine.
Always a pleasure to have you here, and welcome to Linnea Rock in Milan. So you're here in Milan to play another show, and a lot of people waiting outside, and we're here in your tour bus, which is a second house for you.
Yeah, it's my home. I've been grown up like this, starting very early with Helloween. You know, I'm used to having this for my home. You know, for a lot of weeks in the year.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool if you don't know anything else from the start.
Okay, so you're here to present your new album, Straight Out of Hell, which was so appreciated both by critics and the fans, and has been described as one of the best and strongest records of Helloween career. Do you agree on that? Do you feel it the same way?
No, the best and the strongest will be the next, of course.
Okay, always.
You know.
Okay, I said one of the best.
Yeah, one of the best. The second best, maybe.
Oh, okay.
The last one is always the second best. When you do the next one's going to be the best. As soon as you do the next one, then this will be the second best again. So to say. It's weird, I know. I'm weird. This makes me weird.
So you
it's okay.
You did enjoy, I mean, you still enjoy making all of these records, tours, is something that's like still exciting?
It's like, it's different stuff you gotta do. Touring is one thing, and then there's like, which is cool, you don't think so much of the songs already, your head works different, you put on a set and then you think about how can you keep the people excited by putting up a set like this or that song over there, and this is more thinking like going on tour. If you go in the studio, you think more like, oh, if I do this part like this, and it's a bit more fine working, you know, fine arts.
Yeah.
It's writing songs or having all this song and putting them together on a set list, trying to keep the people excited for like 2 hours or something, you know. It's very different stuff you're working with, and that's what I kind of like, you know. And then there's a time you do promotion, you go out and talk to the people, and then you go for rehearse in a rehearsing studio for like getting prepared for the shows and all that. It's very, very different stuff you do, and that's what I kind of like, you know. Then finally going out playing, that is like the second, that actually never changed. So much change in that rock and roll business, like the medias with all that online kind of things are very, very much around you. When we started off, it was just like a couple of magazines, couple of radio shows. That changed so much, but this being on stage, that live thing hasn't changed at all, you know. You go there and it's that second you look at people in the eye and you get the reactions directly back, you know, from what you give. It's coming back to you just immediately, and that's what never changed, and that's what I like. I need something that never changed. And that's the part.
So even if you make a living out of this, you don't consider this as a job?
No, it's just like a part of my life. It's my life, you know. I go home and I still have ideas like in the middle of the night, or when I sit on the toilet. I'm not going home at 5 or something. I'm sitting on the toilet, have an idea. I can have a good idea for like a hell of a chorus line. I think Hell Was Made in Heaven was created on the toilet, on airport toilet in some Kuala Lumpur, what do I know, or was it somewhere down in South America, you know, and this is coming directly from that airport toilet. Or I wake up in the middle of the night, I have an idea, I put it to my handy phone, you know, so you never keep the idea for a couple of minutes, then it's gone, you know. Yeah. It's just like I marm it into my little handy, and then at home I go thinking, alright, this melody is cool, I make a song out of it. And that can happen in the middle of the night, you know. And that can happen on a toilet on some airport or something. So that tells me it's a big part of my life. You wouldn't do it with a lousy job, you know. At 5 o'clock you go somewhere else, you know. But this shows me it's there constantly somehow.
And on the new album, which was your active part? On which songs did you work the most as Markus?
On all of them songs.
All of the songs. Okay.
Of course, the songs I'm written, you're more into, because you know you have the picture clear in your head, but then the other songs, then Andy's coming up and telling me, I mean that song like this and this is meant to be like this, and then I go, all right, and play my part as long as he's satisfied with it, you know, which he is most of the time anyway. But it's, yeah, you know, you put the same intention into all the songs.
It's actually easiest the more, you know, the years go by, to record and compose new songs, record them, or actually it's tougher because you pretend more and more from yourself?
The playing gets a little better and the routine is a little more like, you know what a Helloween song needs actually, and there's a little routine you can use somehow. When you think this song needs another part, maybe then you think Halloweenish kind of, then you will probably put in a twin guitar part whatsoever, or some harmony lines here and there to build it up, to lift it up a bit. That's a part of, yeah, a little routine helps you sometimes, you know, but it still needs the actually idea, which is not coming just like that. Or you have a lot of ideas, but not all of them are as good for like a good rock song or something, you know. And that's a little easy, but the hardest part is to get songs. You know, you have a lot of songs done already, you have a lot of material with Helloween, and you've got to be careful not repeating yourself, you know, which is there sometimes. I mean, I have a style of writing where I think, all right, this is my kind of style, but then there's Waiki, then there's Andy and Sasha, so it gives it a wide range of different characters on the album, you know, which is good, which I like, you know. That is a bit hard. It gets harder from record to record, you know, but somehow it's working because we have a lot of songwriters.
Helloween changed lineup quite a few times during the years, and you changed few drummers, let's say, as a bassist, you know, playing such a rhythmic music. Is that complicated all the time, you know, to fit the new rhythm section? How do you lead that?
It's interesting. We have a drummer now. I can listen to it and then put my bass guitar like around what he's playing, kind of. And it's for me, it's like the most inspiring instrument. The chords are there anyway, but then he goes like or something, playing a role, and I can just like play around that. Which is very inspiring for me, you know.
Oh, great.
Before you go back to some basic chorus line or something that needs to be steady a little bit more, I can play around the drum lick or something, which I very often do, and I like that sometimes. And it's very inspiring. And then, there were a few drummers. Yesterday I met one, Stefan Schwarzmann. I had a couple.
In Switzerland,
we invited him to the show, and he was there, and we were drinking a couple of beers, and that, you know.
Right.
And then we had Danny there, we had Schwarzmann. They understand each other very well. We go drinking, and having fun, you know. Two drummers.
He plays with Accept now. So.
Yeah, he's with Accept now, and so he's lucky. Which is a very, very good band. I saw them in Germany. Wonderful concert.
So new album title, as we already said, is Straight Out of Hell. Was the title in a sense inspired maybe by the hard working, or what was the inspiration for it?
I don't know. It's just like living for today kind of thing, you know.
Okay.
Somehow it's not to be taken too serious. It's Straight Out of Hell. It's just like I live my life not for tomorrow. You know, it's just like just a little bit like live now. Sense in a way. But then Straight Out of Hell was also meant to be like. Everybody was talking about 2012. There's like the world going down and explosions or whatsoever, and we thought it's better to come straight out of hell, you know. Because it's not gonna happen. Everybody knew. It's a little, you know, it's not a big concept, but it's like this little idea.
Okay. So you're doing this new tour with Gamma Ray, as you already did actually in 2007, for the joy, you know, of Power Battle and Die Hard, you know, Halloween.
It is, yes.
Yeah, it is. For all the Die Hard fans, you know, that was their wildest dream, and now it's happening again. So why again and why now?
It's like we thought of something cool to do, and we have like Keeper Part 1, Part 2, and all that, you know. So it's a little bit in the tradition of Helloween to do a second part with that on that end as well, you know.
Yeah.
Do the second part of the Hellish Rock tour. We thought it's going to be in the tradition of doing 1 and 2 for Helloween, you know. So I found it very cool.
Okay. So you get along with Kai?
Yeah, no problem. The guys are cool. We hang around. It's like, hey, cool, nice.
Do you frequently jam together during the tour? It happens that you play? Okay. I mean, soundcheck or also on...
No, soundcheck is a bit like we have 3 bands going on.
Yes.
And it's got to be steady on time a little. So there's no such time for doing this and playing 15 minutes here. So that needs to be done. And the crew needs to have food. And, you know, it's like a constructed day. The people are working hard on the set, you know. So you don't want to piss them off by doing a jam for like half an hour or something, and they have to wait before they get their food.
Sure.
Or they get up very early and they come back to the bus at 2 o'clock in the night. You know, we got to keep these times on stage as they tell us. You know, kind of. But we jam tonight in the show.
Great.
That's the big.
Do you usually plan it, or it happens?
No, it's just like we do something that's pretty much planned actually.
Okay.
But it's gonna be all right. We had you know it anyway. After one show, everything's in the internet anyway, so you know what's coming up. But this is kind of planned, of course. But then we pretend to be very spontaneous.
Okay. As you mentioned, there are 3 bands on tonight. Opening is the Brazilian band Shadowside, which is not very much known in Europe. Why this choice?
We were playing in South America, and those guys came over to support us for some gigs, and understanding was well, and they keep on writing emails to us, and they definitely wanted that gig, you know.
Yes.
And so we thought, well,
why not?
Come on over, you know. We have this happening, and it's nice to have a band there playing right before Gamma Ray for half an hour, something like this, 35 minutes or whatsoever. And they definitely wanted the gig, you know. And so, yeah, we said, okay, come over, do it. They like it.
Okay. Going back to the album, Burning Sun and Years are 2 pure essential, you know, Helloween masterpieces.
Burning Sun
and Years.
Years, yeah. I understood years. Years.
Yeah, they're like 2, you know, instant classics.
Yeah.
And was that done on purpose, or it simply
it's just
happened?
Like
you know,
the way he writes his songs, you know, it's just the way he writes his classical material. You know, it's very, very classical Wyckoff stuff, I would say, and it's just there. If he writes a song, it turns out to be like something big, something, you know, very majestic somehow, and I like that.
And also the first single, Nabataean, is a very special song. Is there any particular story behind the song?
Yeah, it's Nabataean. It's been a place. It's been a kind of a land where there was a folk trying to live without wars, trying to live without violence and all that, you know, it was kind of the very, very first democracy. And they found out that it was there in the Far East somewhere. And they found out that there was a place, and this nation kind of died like the Mayas. Nobody know why they disappeared all of a sudden. It's a kind of a same story with the Nabataeans. They didn't know why. They don't know why they all of a sudden disappeared, you know. But they found out that there was a nation a couple of thousand years ago. I don't know when it was, but that they had like the very, very first kind of democracy going on, until other nations came and took it over, of course. But you know, and that was an interesting story, I guess. That's a story.
It is, and it's a very intense song. As well. Did you have any chance to listen to the Unisonic album?
I heard a couple of tracks, and they're not as bad, you know. I didn't listen to the whole record because I don't have it yet, but they have some cool stuff going on.
What do you think of the idea, you know, of Michael Kiske and Kai Hansen back together?
Why not? I mean, as time's passing by, everything seems to be a little cooler and cool down, and people are calm, and you know, if they want to do it, let's go for it. You know, it's nice. rather than having two guys or be like in a fight all the time and you know, via the press or whatsoever. I like it much better this way.
So we become older and wiser, all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
We become older and wiser, but we don't know anymore. You know, we're not getting any more.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. And concerning this, next year will mark official 30th anniversary for Helloween. So it's, you know, huge career actually. What surprises we can expect to celebrate?
I don't know yet. It's got to be something that we have to talk about, I guess, right?
Okay, so there's no...
Then there's one thing I know, but I definitely wouldn't tell you.
Okay.
But it needs to be another thing coming.
Okay.
We got to talk about this, yeah.
So there are some projects going on.
I know about one, and then we think about something different to do.
Okay, so you cannot tell me anything about it,
Of
but
course not.
just a word about it that we can maybe dream or I don't know,
something special.
something special, which are two words, very precious ones.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So, do you think that will ever be any possibility of any reunion tour of the, you know, classic lineup?
Written
Some
in the
way, maybe
stars.
one tour, you know.
Written
maybe
in the stars.
Okay.
No discussion about it yet.
Okay,
I don't know.
so that is not the surprise.
Yeah, I don't know if Kiske is, Michael Kiske is willing to do heavy metal anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
But, well, Unisonic is back with metal. So
Yeah, but this is a bit more hard rockish kind of style, I
and,
guess.
yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know,
no,
but you never
there's
know.
no such speaking about it yet.
Okay. Okay, so thanks very much for your time.
All right, no problem.
And hope to have you back to Italy soon.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Cheers.